It is exactly that. It was an attack on free speech. What's wrong with holding a placard like that? It wasn't inciting violence. He's entitled to his view.
Absolutely. He was entitled to his views, and as a result, a police officer came along. They had quite a cerebral conversation, backwards and forwards. Please, could you leave? No, I won't leave. I'm exercising my right to free speech. If you don't leave, I'm going to take your placard off you. No, I'm not going to allow that. I'm going to rip it off in front of you, the police officer said. And in the end, he said, listen, if you want me to leave, you're going to have to arrest me. And he said, okay, that's fine. The police officer arrested him. He took him into custody. He stayed there for 13 hours. And eventually he was released on bail. And he was then placed on bail with restrictions not to go back there. And eventually, the Crown Prosecution Service, in this case, saw sense, and they decided not to prosecute this matter. But Ian is an evangelist. He works with Muslims. He loves Muslims. But at the same time, he just wanted to speak out about what had happened. Because if you remember, 20 days earlier, there was the attack, the London Bridge attack, where people had died. And we know that in the late 20th century, there's been approximately 3,395 people who've been killed in Islamicist-related attacks in that period of time. And he wanted to say something. And this was just a starting point in order to approach people and for people to approach him and speak to him as to why he was doing what he was doing.
On what basis was he arrested in the first place?
It was on the basis that he had broken Section 5 of the Public Order Act. So Section 5 of the Public Order Act says that you're not allowed to use threatening or abusive words or behaviour likely to cause harassment, alarm or distress. If you remember, the word insulting was removed a number of years ago, but it seems to have made, unfortunately, little difference to the police because they said, Ian said, look, I'm exercising my right to free speech. And they said, listen, human rights law doesn't matter. You've broken Section 5. You've got to get rid of that placard, despite the fact that there was one person who said that they were a little bit distressed. There was no protest. There was nobody shouting. It was just stood there with this placard, with another one, which also said that love Muslims, hate Islam, Jesus' love and hope. So he wanted to reach Muslims with the message of Jesus, and he wanted just to say, look, I don't agree with your ideology, I don't agree with what has happened, but I want to have a conversation with you. It was a starting point.